Just doing the usual setup at the start of the stream. Should be with you shortly. Sorted. Right, Mr. Burns. Definitely yes. Finally better. I will swing the mic around in a second, bear with. Pop out. Oh. Hello, that's all sorted. Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Burns. Yeah, still got a bit of a chesty cough, but I can actually talk now without coughing and spluttering every 5 minutes. So, fingers crossed, this will be a trial by fire, this live stream, and if it all goes okay, we should be back to normal next week, is what I'm hoping. Hello, Ian, and thank you. Yes, we're getting there. I'd say we're about 95% there, so, looking forward to getting back into the routine of it all is definitely the way of it. Hello, GJ Shag. Hello. Well, even though you keep changing your name, back to GJ Shag. Good to see you as well. Good evening. Long time no see, actually. Right, we'll stop this music. Reset it for later. We'll start off with Hearts of Oak. We'll crack on and we'll take the Cossack out. Reason being is I think someone recently asked about the Cossack, and I thought, well, I might as well take it out. Hello, Stumpy. Hello, and hello, Brandon. I can see, still a bit of a chesty cough, but it's not too bad. Just when he gets irritated. Right. Hopefully, all the levels are okay. I've got to remember Hearts of Oak is slightly on the quiet side. There we go. So, get the microphone okay. Yeah, there we go. As you may notice, the HMS hoodie is crept its way back on stream. Considering where it's this week is the 80th anniversary of both the loss of the hood and the Bismarck, it seemed rather fitting. See what we got ourselves into. We got ourselves into a pure. A tier 6 and 7 game. Jervis Benson, Akazuki, sorry. Fiji, Siegfried, Nagato, Gneisenhower, KG5, Tirpitz. Alright, well, we're spawned at sea, so we might as well play the Charlie objective. So, how is everyone? Those of you in the UK looking forward to your bank holiday weekend? Definitely, got some stuff to do myself this bank holiday weekend. So what we got in support? Nelson and a Bismarck, okay. Oh. So, closing in on Bravo. No, Charlie, I should say. And Tirpitz spotted. No radar, but some very good sonar on the enemy team in the form of the Tirpitz and the Siegfried. Plus also the Jervis. What's for tea? I haven't even made a plan for dinner, love. I was thinking egg fried rice with probably something out of the freezer. We do have those fish fingers to use up, so could use them for something, maybe fish fingers and chips. If not, I can always leave it in your capable hands, my love. So I really shouldn't be using live streams to communicate with the wife. when she knows I'm streaming, it's easier for her. Warships, hello. Good to see you. I'm a lot better. I'm about 90 to 95% there. Still got a slight chesty cough where I end up coughing up a little bit, but it is what it is. Definitely in a better position now to maybe potentially start cracking on with recording. So, fingers crossed, business as usual next week. Do you want to chip in? Well, it depends what you're going to have, love. Could do. If so, you know what I usually have. What's the bones? It's actually really funny and practical. I know. Basically, she knows that when I'm streaming, she shouldn't call the house phone or call the mobile phone, so she just jumps on the stream. No, don't worry. Well, that's the cap done. Siegfried, Fiji, and Eisenhower. It's getting busy over here. Unfortunately, couldn't get any talks on the KG5. And there's quite a lot of stuff here that I don't want to go guns on. If it wasn't so busy, I'd be quite tempted. I think I'll just try and keep them spotted and see how things go. Hello, Sax. Good to see you. Working today, I guess. No, I doubt. I was gonna say I doubt they're gonna make it, but. And flooding. Ah, he damage conned. Now my hope is when the KG5 goes that I can then live. Go. Right, triple destroyers in the centre. That is not nice. Let's see, turbits. Fiji's so blappable that she might get killed very quickly. I think we're just going to hold on to the torps. It seems a bit pointless firing them off. Fair enough, Sax. Sorry I didn't quite catch you yesterday. I think I messaged you when you were working, and you messaged me when I called it quits for the day. I think I'm better off holding on to my HP at the moment. Engage the Jervis. What else they got left? Akazuki. Akazuki's got a lot of HP. Well, I don't think we want to be able to witness anything there.
Engine boost deactivated.
Destroyed, torpedoed by a battleship. Typical. Sax, it happens. Feeling better? A little bit better. A little bit better. Right, warships. How are you doing? How's the leg? You in us? You just left the smoke screen. Okay.
Smoke generator activated.
R90, R9N. Oh, here it is, R9DNG. Hello. That's 2 battleships sailing in a straight line. Brandon, new Prime game pack is out. It's just more common crates though, yeah. Yeah, I haven't really looked into that. I do wonder why they keep doing this Prime gaming stuff, whether they're trying to maybe get, like, expand on maybe the Twitch side of their live streaming stuff. That's my only thought. So I'll make sure I get the cap first.
Engine boost activated.
There we go. There we go. That's the Cossack over and done with. Any requests? Or anyone up for a bit of Division play if they're on their PlayStation? If not, I can maybe pull something special out the bag, maybe? That's the daily done. Okay, okay. Oh, what, the new haircut, yeah. Yeah, had quite a bit removed. I mean, we could always take this out for a spin. Last year they gave the the Conic camo as the prime pack. This year some crates. There's still 5 more packs planned though, so we have to wait and see. Yeah, okay. I don't know what's all this prime packs for. Let's take the knockoff Nuremberg out for the first time. See if we get blapped. There you go, knockoff Nuremberg, here we go. It literally is through and through Nuremberg. There's nothing really that special about it. It's Russian, you'll be fine. I think she might have slightly superior HE pen. I think that's one of the things she's got going. I mean, this is the thing, I actually did write down all the notes for the review, but I just could not read them without coughing, and that was a pain in the rear. But survivability is exactly the same as Nuremberg. Artillery wise is exactly the same as Nuremberg, but you get 100 meters more range. Torpedoes, same as Nuremberg, but you got 2 less launchers. Maneuverability is exactly the same. Concealment is actually worse. For some reason, Russian paint is more detectable. Consumables, you don't have German sonar anymore, and you don't get an aircraft. Your advantage is potentially a high explosive pan, 100 meters more range, and being a premium, I guess. Your negatives are you've lost an aircraft, you've lost having decent sonar. I guess a positive is you do have a better anti-aircraft complement, but also you're more detectable. I know the Makarov has less torpedoes and no fighter, but is there any differences? I think, fingers crossed, I've just gone through everything. Hello, Jets fan. Hello. The differences between the Nuremberg and the Makarov are very minimal, apart from maybe maybe the guns, like as in like high explosive penetration. Makarov is brand, yeah, it's basically a premium Nuremberg. Oh, pardon me. Because even though she's got the trait extended range, she's only got 100 meters more range than the Nuremberg. Nuremberg has 14.9 clicks, Makarov was 14.9. 14.8 versus 14.9 is nothing really. Random. The history is interesting though, much like the Prince Eugen. It was one in the lottery, yeah. Nuremberg went to the Russians, and they actually used her. And Prince Eugen went to the Americans, and the Americans nuked her.
Reporting the position of a strategic target. Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Вражеский крейсер потоплен.
If I was Nuremberg, I'd have another launcher.
Наша команда получила преимущество.
Don't look at me, I'm shy. Oh, okay, I got an idea where my hat is, but I am in such a crossfire. If that Queen Elizabeth fires, I'm dead. Come on. Just die, Callie. No, no, no. No, no. Death, please. Wait, what? I somehow... No, death, please. Why am I not dead? I should be dead. I somehow bounced a 15-inch AP round off the Nuremberg's armor. I don't understand. This shouldn't be possible. Well, we're definitely not bouncing this. There we go. Alright. Online D&G. Why are you obsessed with the Prince Eugen? All I mentioned was she got nuked. She was if you want to be a bit more obsessed, where Prince Eugen was transferred from Germany to the United States with a German crew. Once the German crew got to the United States, the German crew packed their bags and went home. And then the Americans realised they couldn't maintain the Prince Eugen due to her diesel engines and how marvellously engineered they were. They were very good at breaking down. And without the German know-how, they couldn't keep the Prince Eugen operating. And they realised how man-heavy running the Prince Eugen was. So they just let her seize up and then nuked her a couple of times. She's actually a diveable wreck. So if you are obviously into that side of diving and things like that, you can actually dive the Prince Eugen because she's quite shallow. And therefore you can actually access her, and she's not a war grave as well, so you can it's quite easy to get access to her. So yeah, if you want a bit more about the Prince Eugen, there you go.
Requesting assistance.
Oh, warships is kicking around for a bit of division play. Well, there's no point waiting for their destroyer to pass on to the next realm, so we'll pick up warships. There we go. Now we do have the legendary ships, the Kleber and the Worcester, although I'm not as super ecstatic about playing them. Unless you guys are intrigued, could maybe do a couple of legendary games. I mean, let's have a look. I mean, warships, if you're happy to do a legendary tier game. Obviously, if we're going to play a French ship, we have to put the appropriate flag on it. There you go, nice white flag. Mr. do you still glow green after your dive, or is it non-factor? I don't think she's I don't think she's radioactive anymore, so she should be safe to dive. I mean, what would you do with the Kleber? I guess I'd go Violetti, wouldn't I? Yeah, let's have a bit of fun, actually. What I'll do, warships, I'll do that for a little bit. You can always then bounce it back to me. Yeah, no. So I think you can actually see some videos of people diving Prince Eugen on YouTube. I did see some quite recently. I mean, other wrecks you can probably dive are some of the German Grand Fleet up in Rosyth. But is it Rosyth? No. Scarborough. Is it Scarborough? I think it's Scarborough. Yeah. You can dive some of the German Grand Fleet. However, the water conditions are a bit sometimes up there. Well, I think Prince Eugen's very shallow. She's probably, yeah, she's very shallow. I mean, you could potentially dive the Tirpitz, but the Tirpitz is a war grave. With Tirpitz, you're probably better off going to if you go to Tromsø. Yeah, if you go to Tromsø, you can actually see the upturned wreck of Tirpitz during low tide. Obviously, there's not much to see nowadays because it is the bottom of the ship and it's just all rusty metal, but you can see it. It's definitely on my to-do list. Pardon me, sorry. Right, let's see. Let's take the Kleber out for the first time. I haven't even taken any stats down for the Kleber, so I'm not really sure what her capability is like. Game on the Atlantic, domination. R9 DNG, worst fire chance, I think. Not on the Makarov, no. Makarov's guns are exactly the same as the Nürnberg's, apart from 100 meters more range and potentially a high explosive pen. Apart from that, they're exactly the same. Damage, fire chance, and rate of fire and AP shell damage, and DPMs. Fantastic Mikaze, Kuznetsov, Left Fantastic Division with a Kuznetsov then, Odin Division with an Iowa, Richelieu, Massachusetts, Grosser Kurfürst, Conqueror. Torpedo range looks alright. Only one main battery reload booster, which is intriguing. Textability is 5.6. That's not bad. That's not bad. Obviously with my command build. Did I even put did I put modules on this? Can't remember. Main battery, 8-kilometer torpedoes. That's not too bad. Well, I like the way he's sailing to the middle with his guns pointing the wrong way. Right. Let's get in there while we still can then. Top deck like a boss. Evening. Good evening. Warships Life. I want the Clipper because I love the Fantas. This is the thing. I the first game, so let's see how it goes. But from Kuznetsov is in division with a La Fantast. But yeah, when it comes to the Kleber, she's quite strong, is what I've heard. So we've got the Grosser Kurfürst. You're spotted, okay. The Fantast has just started to get into the cap. Kuznetsov smoked up. I think we're over here on our own warships, so if you decide that this flank's not worth playing and you want to run, then I wouldn't blame you. I'm spotted, so the Le Fantast has quite good detectability. Oh, I've got 4 launchers. Wow.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
Yeah, fantastic. Got in close again.
Dégâts critiques au moteur. Problème résolu, chef.
It's a very stealthy little fantast.
Boost des moteurs désactivé. Torpille à bâbord.
Torps coming to my rear. Very lengthy reload.
Dégâts critiques au moteur.
Oh, will to rebuild. I get you now. On my way. Do you know what the range is on that? Oh, la fantast. Which is a lot faster than I thought.
Destroyer ennemi envoyé par l'instant.
I'm on my way. Bloody hell. You're not kidding about will to rebuild, are you? I know, and just... They really need to put a command on this will that says, I need your proximity support or something, because... Ooh, these guns are nice. Oh, we could bomb rush him. I shouldn't. He's backing up. He's not coming round. What's that over there? Shimikaze. I might just go after the Shimikaze. Because she's just going to run rampant. We'll do that just in case, but let's go find this Shimmer. See if we can take her down. What is 2 kilometers? Oh. I think our team's just folding up at the moment. Oh, oh no. I don't think I can make it. Even if I tried, I don't think I was going to make that one. Come on, where is she? There she is. Right, let's get this over and done with. Oh no. I want to live. I shouldn't have lived. I should have died. That's yeah, that was some torpedo beats.
Poste des moteurs désactivé.
That was drifting through the first volley and scooting around the second volley. That was very cheeky. I've got no more tricks up the sleeve though, in order to do anything else. Oh, these torpedoes reload very quickly. That was amazing. I was very lucky.
L'ennemi est sur le point de l'emporter.
So many battleships left. Oh, he's retreating. Okay, there goes the Odin. She's not a bad hybrid, actually.
Vous êtes notre seul espoir.
Alright, well, if it's just me, we might as well dance the dance then. Let's get this over and done with. Subscribe or die one day. Damn, Kinexel's got the wither on me. Yeah, that's what Kinexel's good for. Colbert's a good ship. Yeah, no, I'm quite happy with that. Well, I can't complain about that then, can I? Yeah, she wasn't too bad actually. She's quite a nice hybrid. Potentially, she feels like a better hybrid than. This is the thing. I didn't have any mods on it because I'm being cheap. So I could have brought her concealment down a lot more. That's the old one. Yeah, Christ, I could have taken the concealment down by another 10%. Plus, I'd probably go for the main battery mod. I'd go for the reload speed. Because the guns are quite slow reloading. Probably propulsion. And then... you could go for main battery or probably aiming systems. That would be my thoughts on the Colbert. But all in all, not a bad ship. Although I'd love to take her out again. Let's see. Let's do the Worcester. Let's go mess it up in the Worcester. You're destroyers, aren't you? You're no. Oh, you. Let's go for that one. Flag, obviously the second beta. Camo, let's put camo on. Radar or catapult fighter. Sonar or AA consumable. What's her armor? She can battle tank 16-inch guns, but she can only angle against 14-inch guns. I'll be cheap. I won't even bother with any modules. We'll just take these out naked. Warships in 10 days. I get the Shimakaze. Very nice, very nice. Naval History Hub. Hello, good to see you. How is it? Still a bit chesty, but we're getting there. Should be back to full health soon. Kleber, I see. Yeah. I haven't completed the Kleber project. I haven't paid for the Kleber project, obviously. It's in my port, and I can't tell you why. It won't be in my port in the future, and I can't tell you why. The joys of an NDA, that doesn't make sense. Is the oddest thing there. Anyways, good to see. And Fourth Gamer, hello. Lucian, in 15 days you get the Shimakaze as well. Looks like a lot of you get the Shimakaze. Right, that's the bother all finished, very nice. Thanks. Any thoughts on ranked this season? I haven't got any complaints. I finished it. I just wish. I think my only thoughts regarding ranked this season would be, rather than it being tier 3, 4, 5, I would have much preferred 4, 5, 6. I'm starting to miss playing a bit of tier 6 ranked. Le Fantastic, Shimakaze, Gearing, Hipper, Alaska, Yamato. Yamato in division with Shimakaze, and the two Alaskas are working together. So I can angle against everything apart from the Yamatos. And I'm spotted and targeted. And this is as naked as it gets, so I don't have any special treatment in regards to my rudder shift, my propulsion, my concealment, my rate of fire, or anything like that. So all I've got is a commander on this, and I've managed to dodge the majority of those shots. Still spotted though. I didn't catch what Yamato that was. Setting a fire on the Hipper though, very cheeky. It's... Okay, that's that's the solo Yamato, but the other Yamato's in the centre, so I suspect I'm spotted by the Shimakaze in the centre. Naval history makes sense, the joys of non-disclosure. Yeah. It's here, I can't tell you why. No, it was. Still prefer switch to Violetti.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
Oh, no torpedoes. God damn American cruisers and their lack of torpedoes.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target. Nice work. Merci. Attention, cible repérée à cette position. Affirmatif. Torpedoes to starboard. Torpedoes astern.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
I think we're clear.
Our team has taken the lead.
Yep, okay, we're clear, we're clear.
Bon travail.
Let's go see what we can do over here then. Rudder feels quite slow, so would definitely probably recommend double rudder shift. Double rudder modules. Double steering gears, I should say. Call it shipping forecast, I call it the dinner menu. I could see that, that's actually quite easy. There was, but I am pretty sure other CCs say it's given to them by Wargaming to review purposes. Well, this is the amusing one. When I asked whether I could say stuff like that, I was told no. I was like, so either the other CCs are breaking the NDA, or whoever responded to my query regarding the NDA gave me the wrong answer. New history. That is one roasted hipper. Oh, that is one roasted. I didn't mean to turn the radar on, but it's on now. So we're going to say we deliberately turned it on, and I didn't just hit the wrong button. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? Blast! Like it turned. Has anything changed since the rentals regarding the Worcester? Nothing's changed. No. For forgiveness, maybe they just don't like you, Major. I hope that might be true. I'll be honest. I keep my opinions to myself. Is the best way to put it. I'm very much of the always been one for the attitude. Well, as much as possible. Obviously, I sometimes break my own rules, but if you haven't got anything nice to say, it's better to say nothing at all. no idea what.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
I'd love to, but the thing's turning away.
Torpedoes, dead ahead. Reporting the target position.
Right, can I squeeze in past? Yes, I can, just.
5 minutes.
Cleveland is still a better damage dealer in comparison to Worcester, correct? Doesn't mean that will always be the case. There's always potential that Cleveland might get nerfed in the future.
Bien reçu.
The key to a happy, healthy life is to subscribe to BackToThePort. I'm subscribed to BackToThePort and I've been sick for 2 weeks. The rule does not apply to non-British ships, it seems. Worcester is just another lackluster cruiser for Legendary. Well, she's probably the only cruiser we have for Legendary. I'm not counting the Alaska. Baked Alaska, what was he doing? I don't know. Came round the corner, broadside on to me, another Alaska in something that had torpedoes. I'll take that. Almost a crack in there. Warships. So that's me taking out the Kleber and the Worcester. Starkers, completely naked. Thoughts? Worcester seems interesting. I think she'd probably suffer in battleship heavy games. She definitely needs more rudder shift, hence I'd probably recommend double steering gears. So I think for Worcester I would go probably aiming systems, then steering gears, and then probably main battery mod 3. I don't think the range would be nice, but I think the shells are so floaty that the additional range it'd be like putting more range on the Atlanta. Yes, you can touch further, but you have to lead more and aim more and predict more, and it gets a bit awkward. So I'd probably say go main battery mod 3 for that one. But yeah, interesting. Tier 7. Nah, she's an island cruise. She's an island cruiser. Nah, Alaska's not a cruiser. The Americans wrote battle cruiser at the top of the design and then went, no, we can't say that because that's from the British. So we'll just cross that out. We're super cruiser. It's a battle cruiser. Shut up. You built a battle cruiser, guys. Maybe we'll do a carrier game. I haven't taken a carrier out for ages. There we go. Let's just try this. Stumpy. Live treating Mr. and Mrs. Major well, I hope. Well enough, I guess you could say. Getting by. I was talking about the Worcester. Yeah, Worcester's definitely an island hugger, but she has nose to bounce 16-inch guns, which is nice, but then she can only bring 2 turrets to bear when nose in, which is a bit awkward. It's a shame that her armoured bulk's only suitable for 14-inch guns. Oh yes, super cruiser. The Azuma is a super cruiser to replace the battle cruisers. Yes. So it's So it's like a battle cruiser. It's replacing a battle cruiser. But it's not a battle cruiser. No. My favourite one is the Royal Navy. How to look down and look superior to your enemy. Tell the Germans that Scharnhorst and Gneisenauer are battle cruisers. They're battleships. We know they're battleships. But by telling them they're battle cruisers, you know. Nah, you haven't got any battleships. But when we sink something like the Graf Spee, that's not a heavy cruiser, that's a pocket battleship. We sunk a pocket. What is a pocket battleship? There's no such thing. We just made it up so we could say we sunk a battleship in 1939. Yeah, but when it's all Yamatos, it doesn't matter exactly. Yamato is just so overpowered at the moment. Oh, could you have a battle cruiser with 127mm guns? Well, probably not. The idea of a battle cruiser is supposed to be like the supreme class of cruiser, like a super cruiser, right? Yeah, that's the point. So it's supposed to be the most supreme design of cruiser, which is capable of taking on other cruisers, not capable of taking on battleships, right? Not right, and we better launch some aircraft. And the initial concept from before World War I was able to carry out converse raiding. So the idea was that a single battle cruiser would be able to interdict a convoy, which would be escorted by enemy cruisers, because the definition of a cruiser is a ship that would cruise a long way. It's not a capital unit, but it's not a minor unit. It's almost like an in-between unit. So the idea of a battle cruiser is supposed to be the most supreme class of cruiser, capable of taking on an enemy convoy, taking on enemy cruisers. HMS Hood, okay, this is where Dr. Alex Clark's discussion in regards to battle cruisers actually makes a lot of sense. A battle cruiser is a very wide range. It's not very easily defined, and therefore it's a bit more than just these are the set characteristics, because you can have what you call a battle cruiser at the battle end and a battle cruiser at the cruiser end of the scale. And HMS Hood is definitely a battle cruiser at the battle end of the scale, due to the amount of armour she's got. We might, or would, well, this could be a laugh. Let's just go for it. Nah, he's never going to make it. Whereas something like the Alaska and the Azuma are battle cruisers at the cruiser end of the scale. And the main difference between a battle cruiser and a battleship is the compartmentalization. The battle cruiser will basically sacrifice compartmentalization inside in order to obviously reduce weight, and because she's not supposed to really go up against battleships, she's not supposed to be battling. Naming things super cruisers when when they lean more to the battleship end of the battle cruiser development spectrum, only in America. I find the idea pretty silly when you consider how successful submarines were at raiding. Yeah, obviously the converse raiding side of it was more of when, before submarines really became a viable thing. I mean, obviously it was due to World War I that submarines became more identified as capable of doing converse raiding. But then again, like, it didn't really stop Germany moving away from the idea of a converse raiding ship. I mean, you have to look at their efforts with the Graf Spee, the Admiral Hipper, the Prince Eugen, the Scharnhorst, Gneisenauer, Bismarck, Tirpitz. They kind of really went into this idea of really into this idea of converse raiding. It's like the Graf Zeppelin aircraft carrier. is a terrible fleet carrier. If you really look into it, she's very poorly designed, and I think she's got compressed air catapults, which are only capable of launching up to 12 aircraft before they ran out of air. That's it. So your largest strike group was 12 aircraft. Right, and once you launch those aircraft, you can't launch any more until you've refilled these compressors. Now, the downside of that is you have no fighter cap capability. If your carrier suddenly gets ambushed, you've got no ability to launch any more aircraft to protect your carrier. So the Graf Zeppelin was very much designed around the idea of being like a scout carrier, I guess you could say. She would launch a limited number of aircraft to determine where enemy convoys were and what kind of escorts they had, and then to carry out opportunistic raids and provide some fighter assistance, I guess you could say, for capital German units. God knows if that's going to work. Oh, she's sped up. Cheeky girl, using her propulsion mods like that. But the thing is, she's now shown us her birthday trick. Which way are you going to go? You got to go forwards this time, are you? Nope. Let's launch the bomber aircraft. What I might do, just get them going over there, and we'll move our carrier over here as a form of assistance. There we go. Siegfried battlecruiser, yeah, I'd say so. I mean, ideally I'd like to maybe look a bit more into the design and see what the compartmentalization is inside. But considering she's basically in the cruiser role, I'd definitely say I'd say she's more of a battlecruiser. She might be a bit towards the battle end, very much like Hood, but she's definitely a battlecruiser, I kind of feel. Oh, Full Gamer talking about committing a capital vessel to converse raiding. So it's not very much about what those ships do. That was always the thing. Like the Graf Spee only sunk, what was it? Was it like 9 ships? The overall tonnage was incredibly minimal. However, it was how many Royal Navy ships she tied up looking for her. That was the thing. Like there was a lot of Royal Navy vessels assigned to. Sorry, I want to do this. Sorry. So with the Graf Spee, she had so many vessels looking for her, and then of course all those capital units being tied up, looking for just one ship, because you had obviously Ajax, Achilles, Exeter, Cumberland, which was the South Atlantic Division, but then there was also Renowned, Ark Royal, quite a lot of the French ships like Strasbourg, Dunkirk, and quite a lot of cruisers. All these units just tied up, searching for just a heavy cruiser, which of course then meant those ships got stripped off. I mean, if you look at Bismarck and how many Royal Navy vessels were stripped off in order to hunt her. Nelson Rodney, King George V, Prince of Wales, Victorious, Formidable, Ark Royal, obviously Hood. Trying to think what else there was. I mean, if you go into cruisers, obviously Norfolk, Suffolk, Dorchester, and then you got all the destroyers that were pulled in and stuff. So a lot of resources were committed just to try and hunt and find one battleship and one heavy cruiser, and those ships were sorely needed elsewhere. No, that scale is where the super cruiser concept falls apart every time. The original. Oh, let's see. We better get on with this torpedo run. Oh, maybe where to. You can have 3. Never can really get the torpedo aircraft around for one more run. Let's get this over here. Yeah, with 6 aircraft, that'd be fine. What it might do, might have to start doing some safety drops, I think. The original battlecruiser was envisioned to protect your power with a long range and big guns. In parts of the Empire, the battleships wouldn't be efficient. Yes, that's one way of putting it. That's why you end up with battlecruisers like Australia and New Zealand. Let's see if we can swoop in down on these chaps from here. We were going to do a safety drop, weren't we? But instead, we've just gone balls to the wall. Oh god, can we get his rudder? Go for the weak point, lads, go for the rudder. I don't think it's going to make it. Right, let's get these aircraft over there. There was, and people keep saying Germany had superior stuff. It's always, yeah, the people always say Germany has superior stuff and hold the Bismarck up as a wonderful ship. But if you actually look at her capabilities for the amount of tonnage, she's really poorly designed. People don't like being told that the Bismarck is actually a very inefficient design in comparison to other nations. It's one of the reasons why I don't really hold Bismarck up on a pedestal, just because the design's not great.
All stations requesting fire on the designated target.
It would appear that I've become a very popular gentleman over here. Oh, we're now spotted. Fortunately, even though Lexington's based on a battlecruiser hull, it seems like I can't seem to... Oh. Machine's bid.
Torpedoes to port.
Oh, I'm being hunted by a destroyer. There's not much I can do about that then.
Torpedoes astern.
We're gonna... I think the game's well lost. I have a lot of... Let's see. When I hear about donuts wanting 100 submarines by the start of the war, and how successful Germany was at sinking ships with 10 to 20 submarines, and they actually had, I cannot believe, they considered BB's use... considered the BB use yes, the amount of German submarines at the start of the war was very, very low. Oh well, that's all she wrote. Jump on board with the last remaining survivor of our team while we catch up with the chat. Right, the fleeting being concept, the Brits were pretty scared of ships like Tirpitz. Yeah, like Tirpitz tied down a lot of ships, both British and American, and Russian, really, as well. Anyways, yeah, but they planned for a big fleet before the war, but they declared war too soon. Yes, World War II was not supposed to start until 1945. Everyone was designing around 1940. That's why when America does finally come into the war, they're actually in a better position because they're closer to the actual start date that everyone was planning for. So obviously Germany was aiming for 1945. They were going to build the big capital units like Bismarck, Tirpitz, Scharnhorst, Gneisenau, get all those big units built, and then build all the small units closer to the day. Very much like how America was for the First World War. America had lots of big units, lots of big capital vessels, not a lot of destroyers, not a lot of cruisers. They were going to build those really rapidly. That's what Germany's idea was. Britain, we were we were replacing the R-class battleships with the King George V class battleships. We were then going to replace the Queen Elizabeth class battleships with the Lion class battleships, and then we probably were going to then replace the Nelson class. Not quite sure what the plan was with those, but probably another batch of 5 or something, maybe an extension of the Lion class. But yeah, World War II started too soon. Fourth, I think it's very impractical. They should have realised the Grand Fleet was not happening, not trying to shoehorn them into commercial raiding missions. Well, this is obviously 80 years since the sinking of both HMS Hood and Bismarck, right? Now, Bismarck, magazine detonation, only 3 members of her crew survived. Bismarck, right, went down over, let's say, a couple of hours. She went down very quickly once the scuttling charges went off, but she went down maybe over an hour. Let's say half an hour or something. The order to abandon the ship was given. A couple of hundred got off, I guess you could say, or got picked up. More lives were lost on Bismarck than there were on Hood, because Bismarck was carrying excessive number of crew in order to crew captured convict ships as prize crews. So even though Hood went like that and Bismarck went down slowly, there was more loss of life from Bismarck because she was just overcrammed with people. Well, not too bad in the carrier, especially considering I'm just chatting away there as well. Gotta get one carrier game in every now and then. Just to prove they do get played. Let's take the Lightning out. She's always a bit of good fun. There we go. Naval history. Commercial raiding was a strategy Germany could do efficiently. Their navy was undersupplied or war and forced their hand on many strategies. Yes, that's very true. I think when you consider that you can't really have a grand fleet in order to combat, it kind of is all just down to commercial raiding, especially if you're going up against something like Britain, which is very reliant on commercial shipping. Although maybe some more of the camouflaged merchant ships that the Germans were using would have been more useful. Things like Penguin. Penguin's one. Isn't Penguin the one that sunk HMS Sydney? Germans over-engineered everything, but they had neat stuff. Yeah, they had. It was nice stuff. The thing is, it needs to work. Obviously, we're going off topic from warships here, but things like the transmission on the Panther. I know why they went down the route of building Panthers and Tigers and things like that, because you don't have the resources, you don't have the manpower. You need to make the best thing possible in order to take out numbers, especially on the Eastern Front. I mean, it's quite obviously still off topic. It's interesting to see how manpower did decrease with Germany over the war. The standard rifle platoon decreased by 2 riflemen, I think, and the standard Panzer Grenadier platoon reduced by a single man over the course of the war. Of course, you pull a man here, pull a man there. Suddenly, you can build more of these platoons. Naval history. The sub-development was unsurpassed and gave the Allies all the tricks post-war. They gave us fully electric submarines that if they had built, they could have hugely impacted. If they could have built in the numbers, I think is worth mentioning. But obviously, Germany's position, they could not really survive a long war, and that was the thing. It kind of dragged out. I think I heard that the Prince also dropped some of its crew to help on Bismarck. Oh no. That's more lives. You good or team just sucks? Don't worry. Cormoran, that's it. Yeah, she sank Sydney. What was Penguin? Penguin's definitely another one, yeah. Cormoran, that's it. Mass, Jervis, Udachi, Algeria, Fiji, Megami, Jean-Bar, Iowa, Shikoku. Shikoku's working the other flank as well. Okay. Thing was, I laugh when people say Bismarck and Hood historic camo when in the community live stream they said explicitly that it was inspired camouflages. I'd say although Bismarck's camouflage is inspired, I would say it's pretty close to what is documented by the survivors of the German crew. It was, I mean, they did record. I think some of the survivors did say that the turrets were painted the yellow tops. Oh, that could have been dangerous. But Hood's camo it's just red, white, and blue. It's at the end of the day. It's not even naval colours.
Main turret critically damaged.
Right, let's just. Oh, right, time to go see what we can do in the centre then. I don't think there's any reason to suspect a torp boat over there, so let's see. We're going to make our ways over here. See what we get. The yellow camo wasn't true. I think it's part. I think it's definitely recorded. I think it's recorded in survivors' testaments from Bismarck. In History Hub, I think 4% of the Bismarck's crew survived. Penguin was a raider of the same class, although she also acted as a raid tender ship. Yes, that's it. She's always a name I remember. God, Penguin's quite a funny name for a ship. Thoughtful, did you get the camos, by the way? Would you like to see you take the Bismarck out with it? Go on then, you can watch me suffer in the Bismarck then. Oh, hello. Now she's trying for torpedoes, isn't she? And Neptune speared. Oh, we might die. Oh, well, we'll see if we can get some torpedoes out in the Jean Bar before we pass away. That was one sailor, but I'll laugh if he was colourblind or something. That's why he said yellow. It makes sense why they might paint her turret tops yellow, really. I mean, you got to think about how even like when the British are expecting to see their own ships, they still make glorious mistakes, like the flight of was it the first flight of aircraft from the Victorious did a torpedo run on HMS Sheffield. Sheffield is a town class cruiser. In no way does that look like Bismarck, right? Yeah, they did a run on it. So painting the tops of the turrets yellow, I could see that being a viable tactic. Let's see, where are we? There we go. We're jumping board with the Vanguard then. See how we go here. Vast. The yellow camo is almost a myth. It's one of those things. Whether it's something false that has just been reinforced over time, or whether there is a speck of truth in it, you never know. Prince Bliff explained a bit about it. Fair enough. Yellow turret top. Surely not. That would make you high vis from the air. I never heard that before. It would in some regards, but then I think it would. I think the orders are there potentially to do it. Yellow camera was an inside job, or was everyone in chat? The Brits did it. Lucky the torpedoes didn't harm. Yeah, I think that torpedo did harm, unfortunately. We need a hood game. Oh, maybe we'll do a Bismarck and hood game then. Prince Blitz said something like Germany did not start colouring their turrets till sometime after Bismarck sunk. Well, is that completely true? Because wasn't colouring turrets something that was done during the Spanish Civil War, and German ships were part of the peacekeeping process there? Be interesting to see. Xavier, welcome back. I'm doing alright, thank you. Good to see you, good to see you. Vaz, hope you're feeling better. You can still see I'm a bit chesty, but yeah, we'll get there. I think it's quite likely that the turret tops of Bismarck would have been painted. Especially if you consider... Would you trust the Luftwaffe to bomb the right ship when there's 15 British ships and 1 German ship out there? If the British Fleet Air Arm can't do a torpedo run on the right ship, do you trust the Luftwaffe? I don't. I'd be painting those turret tops like a madman. Vanguard is a pretty ship. Vanguard's an interesting one. I mean, she's got the turrets from Courageous and Glorious from the First World War, which also means that one of these turrets had its gun explode during the Battle of Heligan Bight. I think the second Battle of Heligan Bight. I think that was in Glorious. Yeah, I think Glorious. And it's also amusing that the 2 ships in which these turrets were fitted to, Glorious and Courageous, were lost very early in the war. Glorious was sunk in early 1940s, part of the Norwegian campaign, and Courageous was sunk in 1939. Don't get me the loss of those 2 aircraft carriers it's silly. We shouldn't have lost them. Glorious was going back on her own with only a 2 destroyer escort, and Courageous was doing anti-submarine work with a 2 destroyer escort. No, they're fleet carriers. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be out on their own. Yeah, mistakes were made. I think that is going to be all she wrote for Warships Live. In that case, we'll do a Hood game and then we'll do a Bismarck game. I need to keep an eye on the time. I think that's all we're going to have time for. So we'll do a Bismarck game first, actually, because then that means we get to end on Hood, which would be nice. So let's see. Here's Bismarck. Oh, 22 million. Let's do this. Now you can understand why I don't get any so I mean, you've probably all seen it before. Now, I think personally, I think they've overdone the yellow. The yellow on the tops of the turrets would have been simply limited to the central armor plate, the very top plate of the turret. No way would they have gone and painted it all there. And it's definitely the main turrets is mentioned. The secondary turrets, I don't know. So that's all questionable. But apart from that, the rest of the camouflage scheme is... Well, obviously, we've got an iron cross rather than a swastika. Amusingly, I think you can actually still see the swastika on the wreck of the Bismarck. Camouflage scheme-wise... isn't quite correct either. She's got the false bow wave, but ideally she should have black and white stripes. Which almost give an indicator, which almost allow it to falsify the length of the ship. We'll go for the pristine camo. Let's go fail in this. I can't guarantee you any form of good game in this. So there's warships. I'll let you change. Hello JP and hello Jody. Yeah, Jody Allen. And hello Tasu Kalu Avenger. I'm going to Tasu. Still haven't got Vanguard. I'm on the KG5. KG5 is very nice, very nice. Well, he said it happened after the Luftwaffe accidentally bombed their ships, and it happened after the Bismarck sunk. Wasn't Nuremberg accidentally bombed during the Norwegian campaign? I think a German vessel was accidentally attacked by the Luftwaffe during the Norwegian campaign. No, it would have been before Bismarck. Right, the Luftwaffe probably would be like, we don't have any ships, right? Any ships a kill. Oh. Good to see you up and about. Up and about, still a bit chesty though. Fourth, will also find it silly that the commander of Glorious, I think, wanted to return to Britain to carry out a court-martial. Like, don't you have more important matters going on? There's three reasons for the possible return of Glorious. One, right? Number one is what the government says, and the Admiralty says. And their statement is that Glorious was returning to the United Kingdom early because she was short of fuel. If you run the calculations, she was not short of fuel. Right, so that one goes out the window. Right. Reason two is it's reported via possible eyewitness accounts that she was returning back to the United Kingdom so that the commander could carry out a court-martial of his, is it the flight officer or something like that? Basically the officer who was in charge of the aircraft, who had been court-martialed before the ship was in Norway. It's potential. There's another one which is apparently only come to light recently, with the idea that Glorious was recalled back to the United Kingdom by the Admiralty in order to carry out a top secret raid on Sweden. I'm not quite sure. I think regardless of the reason, it just shouldn't have happened, in my honest opinion. She should have not been. She should have not. Why? She should not have been dispatched ahead of the fleet. Sorry, my Bismarck seems to be slower than yours. For a second there, I thought we were all in Bismarcks. Right. Okay. Well, we seem to be sailing in formation at the moment. Mistakes like sending battle cruisers without adequate support to the Far East. The concept of sending Prince of Wales and Repulse with Electra and Echo, I think, are the two destroyers, as a purpose of a fleeting being. And as soon as they get there, as soon as Japan declares war, they should not be at Singapore. They should be further back. They should move into Singapore to assist when the time comes. They shouldn't be just hanging around at Singapore like that. But yeah. Okay, I thought it'd be a bit darker. Naval History Hub is notorious bad at ship recognition, where yellow turrets just baffle me. Well, I mean, it's not unusual for like turret painting. I mean, you see the French ships in the game featuring a yellow and a red, white, and blue stripe over the turret. And that was actually a colour scheme that was devised by the Allies during the during the Spanish Civil War. So actually, even HMS Hood sported the red, white, and blue stripe on her B turret during her duties during the Spanish Civil War. I do not like this position I'm in. I have no idea how long I will live. Place your bets now. Although the secondaries are doing stuff. But I've got a Colorado over there. And I've got a Jean Var over there. And the Colorado's looking at me. But at least the fireworks are going off, right? And they're occasionally hitting stuff. Tazu, I tried to add you on PSN, it wouldn't let me. Do you not allow people to add you? Yeah, I don't allow, because I know that if I did, I just end up with loads. Oh, can we finish the Colorado? That would really save me some dignity, I guess you could say. And then we could probably go brawling. Yay! Right, well, God, I need to put propulsion mods on this. Yeah, Tazul, just, well, I usually, if you want, I'm on my way. I shall come die gloriously. Oh, it looks like today's a good day to die. What's going on? I can see why some people enjoy the Bismarck. You just sail around and let your secondaries, let the AI do all the work for you. Oh. Do secondaries, do stuff. Oh, they bounced. Oh. Kill secondaries. Keep shooting so I don't have to. We dead now? Yes. There you go, another German battleship sunk. Early. Fonzo Flans? The Major got to send it, people. Bram. Best one's my messaging's open, so you can always drop me a message via PSN, then I can work things out. Before we go, it seems to me the British were projecting a bit because I don't think the Japanese would have been that concerned with such a small force. They were very much, yeah, with the Japanese were not going to be concerned about the presence of Prince of Wales and Repulse. They were going to be very much, yeah, it doesn't matter to them. I think the idea was like it was supposed to be like a combined fleet with the Americans, but after Pearl Harbor there wasn't much of an American battle fleet because it got ruined, I guess you could say. There we go. Stumpy, yeah, the lack of air cover was criminal. This is stupid. This is the best one about, not the best thing, but the irritating thing about it. The ships were told there was no air cover, so they never bothered to request it until it was too late. And then when it was too late, there's no air cover for you. Suddenly turns into, oh, there's air cover now. It was just it was just so poorly communicated down there. It really was. Obviously, I'm no strategist, but I think the Japanese fleets would have liked to take on the British battle cruisers, especially with their carrier force. Yeah, I think very much like Alex Clark says, like the British should have held their force back and then sent it in into Singapore. You know, try and counter the Japanese there, not have them stationed forward. It just didn't make sense. The early British Navy mess up in the Pacific and World War II is comical of indescribable decision maker. I think the mess ups on everyone's side. The early Pacific theatre, the mess ups by the British, by the Dutch, even by the Americans. It's just some of it was just bad. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone can walk away with a happy smile. Let's see, let's go. So obviously I'm running the hood's camo, which is just red, white and blue. I'll let you chaps go the other way if you want, that's alright. I'll go back up this flank with the two cruisers. See how it goes. Um, how do you manage to always end up doing suicide runs on German ships, Major? Because I don't like German ships. I don't know. I always end up doing it. I don't know. I shouldn't. Tier 1, I don't think we're going to have time for that, unfortunately. Those secondary gunners had their coffee this morning, and I think they had a bit more than their coffee. I think they had a bit of shore leave as well, a bit of R&R. They definitely pulled it out of the bag there. Go support warships. I'm probably going to go a bit AWOL over here, I think. Solid. Wow. I wouldn't say it was a solid effort. I was definitely messing about. Is the best way to put that one. Quite a bit of damage there. Yeah, managed to get a decent amount of damage. No, we did set a fire, so that buy-in has damage cons. Turrets look like panda faces. Japanese saw us as a nuisance at best. They would walk through easily, very true. Where's the other cruiser that was on this flank? Oh no.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
This game's rolling up very fast. I think I'll start heading back this way. See if maybe I can cut the Bedoini off from reinforcing their base. Get some pedal to the metal and see what's going on. We've also got a smoke screen over there, so we know there's a destroyer over there kicking around. Fubuki, probably the Fubuki working with the Bayern then. The Bedoini. Which I guess you could say is cause of concern. Benson. Fubuki is running twist and track. Or the Bedoini is. Or the Benson. See what we get to. I thought they knew, but they did not call it until they were attacked. No, they called it. It was HMS Repulse that called in the air cover. Only when things got dire, literally moments before she sunk.
Torpedoes dead ahead.
Did I overlead?
I need intelligence data. All stations capture the base.
She's very kitey. I could charge her down, but I probably ought to go support the base. Back where? Back to you? Or back after the Fubuki? Oh, it's just us. We better...
Feuer auf gegnerisches Kriegsschiff konzentrieren.
Are we gonna win in time? I guess we just got to go force the wall against the... Oh. Could have almost won that one, I think.
All stations requesting fire in the designated
Team has taken the lead.
Very minimal. Oh, she's got guns trained this way.
Main turret critically damaged. Fire.
We sank their battleship.
Oh. Oh. Oh, all stations die. There we go. Hopefully we're gonna go over that one. Oh.
Taken the lead.
Right, let's see if we capture the chat. Bismarck looks neat in the historical camo. How about Hood's camo? Is that accurate as well? So the Bismarck's camo seems to be partially inspired by some reports, but it's not really that historically accurate. Hood's camo is a complete work of fiction. I might do. We'll just jump back to the port and have a look at it. Come on. And I'll, yeah, I'll part ways from the division. Yes, campaign, I know. Yeah. Oh, of course we can't have a look at, well, while we're waiting for that game to finish off, let's have a look how badly we've done this evening. That was before the stream. We did alright in the Makarov. Kleber, we did alright in. Worcester, we did alright in. Come on, there's got a bit. I came fourth in the Lexington. How bad did I must have done badly in one game. Third in the Lightning. Oh, first in the Bismarck. Hood game's over. Second. I think we just had bad matchups, I guess you could say. Hood's camo is literally just red, white, and blue. White on the outside of the turrets, red turret tops, and blue all over. it's not historically accurate, and it's not historically accurate in any way. It's not even really inspired by anything, I guess you could say. The damage, wow. Sorry, I prefer that one. The damaged version of the camo. Some of it's quite interesting, because obviously it has the way that the Atlantic would actually erode the paint at the front. So I do like that in some respects, but it's a bit weird. And also I don't like the way it looks like it goes right down to bare metal. There is quite a bit of damage. Ironically, there's no damage. Well, there's implied damage where the magazine cooked off, because Hood basically, it's believed that Hood took a 15-inch shell from from Bismarck about the middle of the screen here, but below the waterline. Due to the way that the wave troughs of the waves and stuff, there would have been a trough about here. And so it's believed that a shell went into there, went into the engine space, well, through the engine space into the 4-inch magazine, cooked off the 4-inch magazine, which initially fired into the engine spaces. That's why there's no turret located here on Hood, is because literally from the front funnel all the way back is just engine space, massive engine compartment. And so the 4-inch magazine cooked off into the engine space and up through the vents. So that's why there's initially flames that came out on the boat deck, because there's a ventilation there to suck air in. But of course, that when that had nowhere to go, went into the 15-inch magazine, which had been a bit further aft. When the 15-inch magazine, that cooked off, catastrophic explosion. Literally blew out this side of the ship, broke the ship's back. Because the reports from on board the Hood is she swung to one side, then swung back to the other. Now it would have been the gaping hole opening up, the water rushing in, and therefore, yeah, messed it up a little bit. The Hood just went down fast, but she was, you got to think she was cruiser compartmentalized. She wasn't designed to battle. So when she took a devastating hit like that, she was going to go quick, very quick. But yeah, it's an interesting camo. In all honesty, I think I do prefer the actual, more historically accurate camo. I have to confess. Oh well, we'll put her up on as the end screen. Where do we get to? Yeah, the teams did seem a bit amusing tonight, I have to confess. Warships Love. And then it was Zerlane camo for Hood is the best. I'll confess it's probably the least abrasive Zerlane camo that I can potentially stomach. What did you do to my lovely Hood? I found loads of German torpedoes, unfortunately. For them, Finland, France, gotta call it end of there. Because I watched a video on that, even from Historiographer, and he mentioned that it's puzzling why they did not call for Malayan air cover soon, which implies they were aware they could have it. It's not that they were basically told you can't have it. And then I think things got desperate, and I think once the command structure had broken down, because of course the admiral, I can't remember the admiral names on Prince of Wales, but it was William Tennant who was on board Repulse, and I think once communication broke down, Tennant kind of just took the opportunity and just said, "Look, just call for air support, like just send anything." And she pointed there it came. But those two ships, that small task force, should have not been sailing around in that area between Malaya and what was French Indochina at the time. Never History Hub. What was your go-to for rank 5 for ranked tier 5. So for tier 5 I use the Exeter. With ranked I divisioned up with Salty Sax, who's sometimes in the chat, one of the moderators. Me and him just have like an agreement. We usually buddy up for ranked. He plays a destroyer, and he always plays destroyers. For tier 5, I took the Exeter. The reason being is she has a 5.2 kilometer sonar. She's very maneuverable. I use a Reginald Tywit build for chain smoking, so I can chain my smoke screens off. I think with my build, there's only about 2 seconds between my smoke screens, so means I can literally move up, smoke up. He does the spotting, and I deal the damage. So usually he gets the caps, and I get the high caliber. Is usually how that works. But yeah, it's an interesting build. Stumpy, London's an interesting choice, but the issue I have with London is she's big. She's very big. I mean, the gameplay side of this stream has kind of ended, chaps. But so we're going to be just doing some goodbyes and just doing a bit of chatting. Let's just bring up. So I want to make it easier to compare the two. So Exeter is very nice and small, very maneuverable. London is huge in comparison, and therefore London has a slightly less maneuverability inside her smokescreen. She's also got slightly less advantageous torpedo angles. Furthermore, she's got her sonar's a very passive sonar. It's not aggressive, so that's what I like about Exeter's sonar. She can be aggressive with that sonar. She can push, and with this commander build and an epic battle booster, my smokescreens chain them off like that. Torpedo range is brilliant. Torpedo reload. I mean, just to showcase, the torpedo reload is 61 seconds. So you can keep chucking torpedoes out. They're very useful torpedoes. And also with Smogophon, if someone's nearby, friendly nearby, your torpedo speed goes up even further, which is very nice, very nice. When it came to tier 4 and 3, this might surprise you. We don't need to do all the premiums. For tier 3, my go-to was the Iraqi. The reason being, obviously, her armour is reasonable for the tier. You do have that bit of plating there, which means that you can actually ricochet off the side. You can ricochet battleship off the side, but if battleship hits your front or comes in for the top, it's going to hurt. But she's also got really nice long-range torpedoes, reasonable DPM, she's got sonar, she's got smoke, improves your survivability. And then I went for like a very much torpedo build. Recently, I just want to keep chucking those torpedoes out. They've got 10 kilometers range at tier 3. Not many battleships are going to be expecting that. When it comes to tier 4 ranked, HMS Fur Attacker, as we say. The reason being is Fur Attacker is one of the best armoured cruisers at the tier. Look at that armoured bout that's protecting the Citadel. It's very nice. Look at that rest of the armour as well. It's green. That can bounce 14-inch guns. So, considering tier 4, there's no battleships with a gun caliber more than 14 inches. You can angle this ship against any battleship, and it should just bounce off quite nicely, which makes it a really survivable cruiser. Would definitely recommend Zerlane, a Targo build for the Arsonist trait. But yeah, so that's been my go-tos. Playing cruisers. Where would the torps be on HMS Hood? Okay. So HMS Hood had above water and below water torpedo launchers. By the time of the Battle of Denmark Strait, I think during her 1930s refit, she had the torpedoes removed from underwater, but she still had her above water torpedoes. And the above water torpedoes would have been these two hatches about mid-screen now. So just below the 4.5-inch dual-purpose turret. They're said to have limited traverse, or no traverse at all. So they would have just been just out the side. That's it, one line. And it's believed that Hood actually did use her torpedoes in the final engagement because Bismarck and Prince Eugen had to actually avoid incoming torpedoes. Prince of Wales actually recorded torpedoes in the water going towards Prince Eugen and Bismarck, and therefore the only ship that potentially could have fired those would have been Hood, because Prince of Wales wasn't fitted with torpedoes. And so what I believe is before Prince of Wales and Hood turned in to engage Prince Eugen and Bismarck, I believe that Hood must have just chucked out 2 torpedoes from her starboard side before she then turned in. Which also then means that the theory of the torpedoes being the reason behind why Hood blew up is potentially a no-go, because it means that there would have been no torpedoes on the starboard side. Then I went for the usual AO, but AO was an interesting choice. If you're not playing a smoke cruiser at tier 5 ranked, your options are a little bit limited, because obviously not many out of the cruisers, most of them are very thinly plated. Your best armoured cruisers, the best armour are the Aoba and the Trento. They've got the best armour, I feel. Trento's actually probably got the better armour, or she's got more of the thicker armour, but obviously she suffers from that DPM, which is a bit of a downside. I mean, she can bounce, let's just safely say 14-inch. So that just leaves the Bayern, the Prince Eichel Friedrich, the Queen Elizabeth, the War Spy, the West Virginia, and the Mutsu as battleships that can overmatch you. Apart from that, you can pretty much angle against everything else, which isn't too bad. Why have I still got that there? Right, let's quickly just jump back to something pretty. Let's go to London. Let's see where we're. You sound better. Probably in a little bit. And hello, Mixed Gamer. Well, nice to have you back. Get well soon. I should be 100% soon, I hope. And then it's got godly accuracy. Is that the Aoba? Yes. Later, folks. Yep. Exeter is where I'm leaving on tier 5. Tier 4, Yahagi is a beast. A good choice. Yeah, Yahagi is one I did contemplate. Well, that is definitely the end of the stream. I've caught up with the chat. We've had a very interesting chat there towards the end, and it is gone 9:30, which is when I usually call the end of the stream. If you can, feel free to give the stream a thumbs up before you go. That would be much obliged. And as always, let's see. Let's get the music going, please. So as always, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's come along. Thank you for joining in with the division. Thank you for the chat and everything. If you can, give it a thumbs up, would be much obliged. Thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you to all the patrons. Thank you for bearing with me while I've literally just been sick for 2 weeks. I mean, all I've given you is one live stream in the middle. So we'll hope, fingers crossed, we'll be back to normal next week. With a community spotlight video. This is the annoying one. I've got all the notes written. I have attempted to record. I just haven't been able to actually record without coughing and spluttering and having to say, no, I can't do this. It's not up to quality. So going for the thank yous. Starting right at the start, let's say thank you to Mr. Burns. Thank you to Ian Wilkins. Thank you to GJ Shang. Thank you to Stumpy West. Thank you to Brandon ABC. Thank you to the missus. I assume we're going to get fish and chips tonight. Thank you to Warships Alive as well. And thank you for joining in with the division. Thank you to Salty Sax. Thank you to R9DNG. Thank you to Jets fan as well. Much obliged. Thank you to Jamie Cook. Thank you to Top Deck Like a Boss. Thank you to Lucian West. Thank you to Thoughtful Gamer. Thank you to Naval History Hub. Who else did we have here tonight? Thank you to J.R. Duggar. Thank you to Xavier Mathis. Thank you to JP God. Thank you to Tasulakalu Adventures. Thank you to Jody Allen. Thank you to Vaz Vegas. Thank you to Afonso Fernandez. Thank you to Dimothenus. And that is... Oh, and thank you to Mike X Gaming. Thank you to everyone. Much obliged. Night expecting 4 community videos. Well, the definitely next community spotlight will be yourself, Eternal. I've written the notes. I even sat down to try and record it, and I just couldn't do it without coughing my guts up. So, but yep, it will be. We'll get there. I've got to do the Makarov. I'll see if I can do the Kleber. I might do a Conqueror Let's Play. There's lots to do. I just hope to get my voice all back to normal. Thank you, Vaz. It's bank holiday weekend here, so 3 days off. So looking forward to the plans to get the patio laid. So hopefully not so much back-breaking work. Thank you, Stumpy. Have a lovely weekend yourself. To you and your missus. And that is everything and everyone. Obviously, there's no rum tonight because obviously we're trying to get better. So I'd like to say thank you, and I'm the Gulf Major. And until next time, back to the port.